just like seeing her for the first time.
But what is such a small child doing in such a dungeon? The cute girl saw him and immediately became inspired. We began to walk towards him and asked, "Is he a hunter, right?" She did not wait for an answer, telling him to follow Herond, then quickly ran down the stairs. Junio put out his hand and shouted for the girl to wait a little. How did Shek know that he was a hunter? The girl answered that her sister upstairs told her that a hunter would come to save Herond. If that happened, that they should leave together. She asked, "Did Juno come all this way because he was a hunter who came to save his sister?" He asked in surprise. Who was her sister? They had already gone down together. The girl asked, how could her brother not know her? This is strange. She was sure that he was talking about her. They went down and saw a girl sitting. She had a strange and creepy look. The girl said that they had arrived there was the person she was talking about. The protagonist looked at the girl in surprise and thought it seems that she received psychological trauma. For some reason he said he was sorry the hunter association sent him. She asked again, he is from the Hunters Association. Did they really send him? MC replied that it was true. He knew it might be confusing, but he asked her to tell him what happened. She fell to the floor in relief and said that she thanked God. She was very grateful to Junjong. After that, the sad girl began to tell the story. She was the fourth of the scouts of this dungeon. The first 3D ID not returned, so she was ordered to explore this dungeon. However, as soon as she entered, dolls ran at her from all sides. She was caught off guard, so she tried to run out of the gate, but for some reason the door closed and did not open. She was trapped. Junio remembered how they entered the dungeon and realized that this was the Sami situation. He asked if she knew what happened to the other scouts. The girl replied that she knew. She called them from the entrance to check, but something seemed strange, as if they were not conscious. They had a strange aura and they were creepy. Her former comrades tried to attack her. She was able to escape and eventually met this girl. Although she was trapped, this girl helped her lot. The little girl said that it was so her sister played with her a lot. Junio asked, what is the girl's name? She said that her name is Elizabeth, but he can call her Beth. He said, then it is better for them to go together. It is dangerous to stay alone there. The girl said, is it dangerous there? She thinks that it is much more dangerous outside at this time. The team was fighting an invisible monster. They ran all over the room, struck at the void, and hoped that they would hit sparkled from the contact of swords with the monster during the fight. Tian noticed that the enemy's boots were becoming visible. He realized that stealth was gradually disappearing. Soon the figure of this creature and clothes were already visible. He thought, are these human-type monsters? He saw an ID card fall to the floor, and when the card became fully visible, he realized that it was a scout ID card. It belonged to Han Keelan, Ob-rank hunter. Tian realized that the attacker's face was the same as the scout documents that the association president gave him. Ji screamed that Sheriko recognized that face. Tu Mingwan continued to attack, and Tian doubted and just defended himself. Then he screamed at it for everyone to stop attacking. They were the missing scouts. Soon the boys completely stopped being invisible and looked wheelie at everyone around. Tian knew that stealth was a skill that can't be used for a few minutes after it, and steer is only a risk of greatly reducing speed. You can't just kill them suddenly. He was distracted by a scream there. Wasan enraged. Yak glowing brightly with an aura and screamed. He was sure that it was a monster who uses stealth, but Arethes scouts. He clenched his fist filled with magic and said, okay. Their speed has decreased. He created a giant fist of mana and said that he would kill everyone at once. Yak swung as hard as heckled, but nothing happened. There were two teams and scouts standing on the sides of the long passage. A drop of blood appeared on Yak's nose. He shouted in displeasure. What was going on? Jay's gun was smoking. She shot at it, and now she asked if Guildmaster Yak had gone crazy. Weren't monsters, they were people they needed to save. There must be a way to return them to their previous state. He asked, are they people? Do we need to return them to their previous state? When someone tries to kill them, there are two choices: kill or be killed. No matter who shows hostility towards him, anyone will be killed. She, the shooter, is no exception. At the same time, the scouts' heads began to fall off. Yak's fist of mana seemed to fly around the hall itself and destroy everyone. The clanking of weapons and sparks were constantly heard. He glared at them and said, if they tried to stop him again, then Ji should know he would kill her first. Manhwa protected her from Yak's random punches and mana, as well as the scouts. Ji screamed that he was a SCTN. Sternly told them to stop. He hoped that Kim Yak would listen to him now. Yak said that it annoyed him that people were blind, but he would show them the truth at this time. Aaron protected him with a shield and asked him to repel the enemy attacks too, but Tian said that this was not a request but a deal he would hand over. The reward for the raid and all the funding to the Shima Guild, thought that such conditions were enough. Yak was surprised by such a proposal. The scouts kept running around them and attacking Yak, parried the blow, and said that he would warn them. Just in case if they angered him, he would kill them on the spot. Tian also parried several sword attacks and thanked him for his patience and thought that he had finally bought some time. Suddenly, Ji called him M1, was blocking her blow sand. She sheepishly showed her guns and said that she did it. Tian caught his breath from fatigue and said that she would bear responsibility later, and now they needed to focus on the battle and figure out how to save them. The scouts became invisible to them again, but in fact, they were the same puppets. However, there were an incredible number of threads in their chests. They were infected. Beth asked, brother also saw the dolls from the outside. He agrees that they are very scary. She does not know exactly how, but they are entangled in purple threads. Their entire body consists of long threads. The dolls won't die until the strings are removed. They will just attack constantly, but these strings are strong. It is very difficult to break them. She asked what the sister and brother think about this. Isn't it scary? MC asked, so the dolls can return to their normal form. He wants to bring back the colleagues who became dolls. Then the girl said she heard that they must stop the device attached to Thethel's body as soon as the string is broken, but if they try to get rid of the strings by force, the dolls' bodies will be torn into many pieces. Beezes smiled and asked how this information helped him. Did it help Junio? Began to look at her carefully. With an eye filled with mana, it's strange even to a difficult question. She answered accurately and friendly then. Maybe she should ask him another question. Beth answered that it only takes seconds, just seconds after the dolls use stealth. They will die. The team continued to fight the puppets. They were already tired. Wounds and blood appeared on them. Everyone was now being hit by the dolls and had a hard time blocking the attacks with their shields. Ji screamed, this is bad, they can't handle. It can KH urine helps, just needs to block their moves with ice or something. She snapped her fingers, a little blocking the attack in Sadnet. To cross the line, she was annoyed by what was happening there at this moment. He was already counting. The team continued to fight. Everyone was tense. He began to shine brightly with his mana aura, but he continued to count 1. He swung his fist, and at this time a giant fist of mana was above his head, ready to strike. However, in an instant, his mana fist evaporated and disappeared. He remembered that this had happened before the skill was cancelled. The past pain returned. By this time Junio came and said that Yak stopped his ability in time. They barely managed to save them. He walked with a girl who was smiling widely, and then said that he would now handle everything himself. Tian immediately approached him and asked where he went. MC replied that he needed to check something, nothing special there. They cannot worry. The guild leader replied that it was good that nothing happened, but this is a dungeon, so he should try not to be willful. Jay noticed something strange and turned around. She saw the blurry figures of the guys. Jia screamed that they were starting to use stealth again. Fighters began to run towards them with the help of mana. They were incredibly fast. Tian covered Junal, and this scared Beth with himself, telling them not to move like bright streams. They flew past the surprised Jia and Mangan, approaching the Mick. Tian was surprised, thinking, did they pass by him? He shouted at Junio to be careful, but the protagonist was already very calm thanks to the threads of infected mana. 2 fighters wanted to attack him, but Tian appeared in front of him and blocked their attack. With his word, Juno's eyes lit up. He said that he could see the dolls' weak points, so he would mark them now. The fighters should aim exactly there so as not to damage the main body. Tian said that he understood him, and he looked up. Unthought by marks, he meant these blue fragments. He began to use the hilt of the sword. and hit directly at the fragment that was on the doll's chest. He was glad that this method worked. It was amazing that you can aim at them. Like that, he began to watch the other fragment, telling all the fighters that the doll's weak point is the device in the center. They need to hit their young'un from Yak's team. Hit the scout in the chest with a spear. The device shut it into pieces and she screamed. Yak, displeased, screamed, "Why did the dolls suddenly start breaking? They didn't break before." He doesn't understand what's going on. The MC smirked, and you continued to ask, "What's going on?" Sunthi stopped fighting with the scouts, who were now unconscious. Tian asked if they could find out what Junio was checking on the first floor. He replied that he would tell them, since there was nothing special. He explored the dungeon Allen, and accidentally found a surviving scout. She was in bad shape, so she didn't go with him, but he learned about what was going on from her, and found the scouts weak points. Tian said that he didn't understand who the girl next to him was. She looked at them with a smile, and Junio said that she helped him find the scout. It seems her parents were stuck there. Yak leaned towards her and said that it was too suspicious. Ji asked what the leader found suspicious about her. If she was just a child. He pointed a finger at her with displeasure and asked what he said wrong. It was logical. How could there be an ordinary girl there? That gate was heavily guarded. It might seem like Shuas just ignored, but the association was constantly monitoring it. No one could enter. Tian frowned. He said that Hoinders did Yak, but it was wrong to judge hastily. Then Yak got angry and shouted that he was just obsessed with finding flaws in his words, right? And anyway, Junio was walking around so confidently. Bess. Yak relaxed. Should he kill all the Tian guild members? Then Guild Master Overkill also got angry. His eyes lit up with a dangerous aura. He said that he didn't like his pointless arguments, but he thought it was necessary to train Jimin. Harmonious, clearing the team members, also adopted the mood of their commanders. Ji said, "That's right, they act like they're better than them. They can take advantage of this opportunity." Heron from Shia Guild said that they act like they're better than them because they are. Instead of talking nonsense, why doesn't Jihe stop her? Guildmaster, what will she do if he gets killed? She asked irritably. What are they even talking about? Do they think that Guildmaster Tian can lose? Saran replied that it was definitely true. Her Guildmaster can lose. Ji screamed. She wanted to stop Tian, but Shabeta, stop saying that. Will they at least be able to carry their guild master away from there when he loses consciousness? The girls started screaming even louder at each other, arguing, and the aura between them became brighter, taking on an eerie and toxic color. The guild masters also screamed that they didn't care about anything. It was time to find out who was stronger. Giant fists off mana, and bright destructive fire appeared above the groups. They screamed that they would show each other their true situation. Suddenly, MC felt pain. He was also surrounded by a bright aura. He bent over and thought what was happening. Why did the emotions intensify? But soon he heard laughter. Beth was laughing. Hera was just as bright and dangerous. She said that she only provoked their emotions a little, and they were arguing like that. How shameful. But looking at Junio, she smiled and thanked him. Thanks to him, she was able to use the mind control skill on strangers. It was necessary to get closer without unnecessary suspicion. If he understands you, and the protagonist remembered that he initially thought she was a baby monster. Her aura is blurry and dark, but when he began to think of her as an ordinary child, was he brainwashed? When they first met, then he realized that he was too late, and quickly ran to the guild leaders with his aura. He needs to stop this before they are compelled to brainwash. But suddenly he stopped. Junio could not move. He saw that his entire body was enveloped in charged threads. By this time they wrapped not only him, but everyone else as well, and the threads lead to Beth showing anger and discontent. MC realized that they had already been brainwashed. Who would have thought that she uses contaminated Monado control not only the body but also the mind? His eyes lit up with he did not understand her lie. Junio squeezed the threads and they gradually became more and more transparent. He activated his passive skill, mana absorption. He began to glow incredibly brightly with an aura of contaminated mana. Beth chose the wrong enemy. Soon the threads began to break, one after another, and the fighters woke up. Yak asked what happened. Beth smiled creepa and said that it was unexpected that he could absorb mana. But funny, however, at the same moment Junio screamed that this girl was an enemy and they should all attack her. Her smile became smaller. Then she began to call for Dad, Mom, because of which Everyone in the room felt vibrations. Huge streams of energy fell from the ceiling in front of them, creating several bright flashes. Beth told the two figures that these people were bullying her, so she was asking them to punish. Her two beautiful dolls appeared in front of the fighters, and then Yak immediately ran forward. Totak Tian tried to hold him back, but he yelled for everyone to leave him alone. He would kill the doll with one punch then. Beth snapped her fingers and said with a smirk that it was time for her brother to appear. Everyone heard Theme-packed Yak hit his teammate with his powerful fist, who flew far into the wall. Shin screamed, "What is Kim Yak doing?" but the guy did not hear him. Contaminated mana was emanating from him, and his mouth was open and filled with strings. He did not understand what was happening to his body, and Beth said that Rubis did a good job. MC became worried. He realized it thought this was why he felt contaminated mana from Yak's hand. Rubis was like a huge puppeteer who controlled Yak. Beth said that her brother likes to hide behind humble people. No one noticed, right? She laughed loudly, saying that the situation where they have to fight with a comrade is very funny. What will they do when their friend becomes a doll? Tian swung his sword and said that she is going to grab Yak, but they have to help his girls enthusiastically. Agreed Anthon. Many punches, swords, and gunshots were heard while they were fighting. Suddenly a barrier surrounded the guildmaster. The fighters and Rubis were surprised by this. Jia screamed, "What's wrong with him?" A girl from his guild's word that it is a skill that is activated when the guildmaster Kim Yak feels that his life is in danger for a while. He is invulnerable and cannot be distracted, similar to the period of a storm. This state can last for up to several hours. Rubis became worried. He couldn't control Yak, and at that time Meth Boss just wanted to leave him alone, Beth said, dissatisfied. Now one of them can't fight, her brother is useless.